All right, ready, K-Rick?
Yep, whenever you're ready.
Yes, boss.
Drive me.
Oh boy.
Okay.
This is NASCAR Coast to Coast, presented by Whelen, also brought to you by Hercules Tires. Now, with the latest NASCAR local, regional, touring, and international racing news and views, here are Hannah Newhouse and Kyle Rickey.
Welcome to NASCAR Coast to Coast here on the Motor Racing Network. I'm Hannah Newhouse here in our Concord, North Carolina location, joined by co-host Kyle Rickey. And Kyle, this season continues to wind down. We've crowned a NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion. We've crowned an East champion, a Sioux Chief Showdown champion. And finally, this past weekend, the ARCA Menards Series, somehow able to fit in their entire 20-race schedule, crowned their champion at Kansas Speedway.
And they got some road courses in, some dirt tracks in, super speedways and short tracks, and some 1.5 miles like Kansas Speedway this past week. Another great show, as heard here on the Motor Racing Network. Bret Holmes taking down the championship. Corey Heim picking up his first career win. But obviously all eyes are on that championship battle. Actually, that's been on that championship battle much of the season between Bret and Michael Self. Just a couple of points between those two. Each and every week they'd flip-flop the lead, and Michael had some early mechanical issues, and Bret was able to capitalize and pick up the championship.
Yeah, and it was cool to see Corey Heim pick up the victory. And I thought it was kind of cool. Corey, who has made a couple starts in the ARCA Menards Series this season, was behind the wheel of the number 10 car. While I do believe it was a Venarini team car, they ran the 10, so Andy Hillenberg actually collected the victory as a team owner. So cool for Corey to get that first victory, as well as adding Andy to the list of winners there as a car owner. Of course, Bret Holmes, small team as well, his family team collecting the championship. You could say that Kansas in some weird way was a night for the small teams.
Yeah, and it was, and that's what I love about the ARCA Menards Series. A lot of unique stories just like that involving small teams in the sport, and some of the larger teams like a Venturini and a DGR Crosley. Hailie Deegan finishing third in the championship standings. It was Corey's 16th career start in the series to pick up his first win over Bret. Derek Griffith, who has had so much success up here in my neck of the woods in New England, finished in third. Dylan Lupton fourth, and Michael Self overcame those early race mechanical woes, got his lap back, finished in the top 5. Obviously, not enough to pick up the championship, as he was already trailing going in. So he needed Bret to have some issues of his own, which he did not. So congratulations to Bret on his championship.
Yeah, we'll talk to Bret Holmes here in just a short bit about that championship. We did talk to him a couple weeks ago, getting that first win back at Kansas, but we're excited to have him back on as a championship. And Kyle, we look back at the ARCA Menards Series. We still have the West Series to crown a champion. They've got 3 more races. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the show. But there was a lot of storylines, kind of more so in the East Series, including Hailie Deegan finishing third. She made her truck debut this past weekend. You mentioned Derek Griffith. If you can imagine all the way back in February, which seems like years ago at this point, Derek Griffith got a one-off opportunity to go and race for Cunningham at the season opener at New Smyrna Speedway, almost won the race. And to be able to put together a season like this, he's got to be a driver that's, a little maybe worried about what the future holds, but excited to get his feet underneath him, get this rhythm, a good finish this weekend at Kansas at 1.5 miles. This guy's one of our short track racers from New England.
Oh, and if performance is anything, he shouldn't have anything to worry about. But we all know that in the current economy, rides are tough to come by, especially in 2020. But like you mentioned, every time he showed up at the racetrack, we were talking about him, whether it be a top 3 or a top 5 run for Derek, who has had so much success up here in the Pro All-Star Series up here in New England, and I think runs part-time on the American Canadian Tour as well, and runs all the big super late model races up in northern New England. So runs well wherever he is, and that includes in the ARCA Menards Series this season at New Smyrna, nearly won the thing. And then getting some more experience in the National Series on some of the bigger tracks this year, including Kansas last week. So I think, if he keeps it with his current program and runs a full schedule next year, could be a source to contend with for the championship.
Yeah, absolutely. We love seeing our short track drivers move up in the ranks, including, we said, Hailie Deegan made her truck debut, 16th place finish for her. And with that, she announced she will be truck racing full-time in the 2021 season for DGR Crosley. So congratulations to Haley. But we're going to take a quick break. When we get back here, we will have your ARCA Menards Series champion, Bret Holmes.
Whelen designs and manufactures reliable and powerful warning lights, white illumination lighting, sirens, controllers, and high-powered warning systems for automotive, aviation, and mass notification industries worldwide. Every part of every Whelen product is proudly designed and manufactured in America and is tested on site to meet the toughest industry certifications. On the road, in the air, and around the world, Whelen is trusted to be seen, trusted to be heard, trusted to perform.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower? Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Back to NASCAR Coast to Coast, brought to you by Whelen and by Hercules Tires. Here are Hannah Newhouse and Kyle Rickey.
This past weekend, the ARCA Menards Series capped off their season at Kansas Speedway, and the guy that found victory lane just a few short months ago also crowned himself a champion. Joins us now, Bret Holmes. First off, congratulations on the championship, the excitement. We got to see it in victory lane on both Fox and hear it on MRN. Has it set in yet that you are a ARCA Menards Series champion yet?
Yeah, thank you. And it has a little bit. It really did take a while, and I think part of that was just collecting all my thoughts and memories of how much work we've put in over the past few years to get to this point, and not just the past few years in ARCA, but on my past racing career. I mean, this is huge for me. So just thinking about everybody that's helped us along the way, and everything that we've done, we wouldn't be here without it.
This is your 4th full season in the ARCA Menards Series. Hannah mentioned you picked up that first win earlier this year at the Kansas Speedway. Did that give you any confidence going into the season finale on Friday night?
Yeah, definitely. It was really cool to be able to do 2 races there, and knowing we were going to finish the season off there, we knew that we were going to be really good. So I hate we didn't come out with a win. We fought handling a little bit through the day, but we stayed up front and kept it clean, didn't really take any risks, didn't have to really. I mean, we got away from the field a little bit there, and it was fun racing with Corey. And I wish we would have come out with a win, but, the biggest picture here was the championship, and that's what we really had our eyes set on for the last half of the year. So I'm glad we pulled it off, and it's a great feeling.
And you'd mentioned that there up front early on in the race, led some laps, came home in second. You only had to finish third, though, to pretty much lock into this championship. Fortunately, Michael Self having some fuel pressure issues early on. Was there any point where you guys were calculating points, or did you feel that if you stayed pretty steadily in the top 3 there, it didn't matter? Did you have someone in your ear watching Michael the entire time?
No, not really. I mean, we weren't that into it as far as calculating points. I mean, we knew we were going to be all right as long as anything mechanically didn't happen with our cars. So. And we were still wanting to win the race. Like I said, we tried to stay up front as much as we could and take the lead a few times. And when Corey passed us there, I gave him more than enough room just so we weren't taking any risk. And honestly, I was a little mad. I mean, through the end of the race a little bit, just knowing that he was pulling away from us a little bit and we couldn't win. But and already knowing that we were going to pull it off. So. I think that was just the drive in us that we wanted to win and just have more than one win on the season. And I wish we did. I think we had a couple that slipped away from us. But, like I said, I think we went in the race with the mindset of keeping everything clean but still doing our job, and that's how it happened.
We've talked a lot this year about your team. It's one of the smaller teams and the ARCA Menards Series. What does this championship not only mean to you guys, but also the small teams that are competing week out and week in on this ARCA Menards series that tracks across the country, one of the most diverse series in the country with the dirt, the road courses, the super speedways, and the short tracks. And, your small family team comes out on top.
Yeah, it's really tough. When you're I think it really opened my eyes a lot when we started our own team in ARCA, and it was a whole different level for us. So it took us a few years to get to this point, and I think just having great people on the team is where it got us where we are. And like you said, just competing against some of the guys some of the teams we had to compete against, and are really tough. They're really good teams, and they probably get a little bit more support than we do. But I think we just worked harder this season and studied harder, and I think that's what paid off. And yeah, I mean, like you said, the ARCA series, as diverse as the tracks that we go to, it's really tough to transition from one whole different aspect to the other. So it's a tough series really to compete in, and it's hard to win these races. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. So I'm just glad to be a part of the series. It's a great little series, and I think to prove yourself before moving up to the next level.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of moving up here, outside of the racing world, you're getting ready to graduate from Auburn, but I have to ask, you're from Munford, Alabama here. How did you make that decision between Auburn and Alabama? I mean, that's two of the biggest rivals there. I know you're smack in the middle here, but you're graduating from Auburn. That's got to be a fun little position to be in.
Yeah, it was a little tough. I mean, I had one aunt that went to law school at Alabama and one aunt that went to accounting or graduated in accounting from Auburn. So my parents didn't go to college, so they went to the school of Hard Knocks. So it was a little tough to decide on, but I think, I went to some Auburn games as a kid, and went to some Alabama games as a kid, and one just felt more right than the other. So that's how I made my decision. And yeah, I mean, I'm, fortunate to about to graduate. You've been here a long time when your Spotify account expires on you and they don't think you're still going to school. So I had to figure that out. And so little things like that came up, but yeah, hopefully, this semester is my last one. So just kind of cherishing everything about Auburn, and before I, officially leave. So
I was gonna say, that's saying something. I haven't gone to Boise State for about 2-3 years now, and I still have my Spotify account under my student email. So
yeah, I don't know why they kept canceling on me. I guess I've been going here so long, they thought I'd be done by now.
You mentioned that you might have teased it a moment ago, moving up. 2021, do you hope to make that move up to maybe a NASCAR National Series, whether it be the Truck or Xfinity?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's I think as any racer's mindset goes, you want to improve and want to prove yourself and move up after you've done that. So that's definitely what I want to do. There's a lot of things to work out, and I definitely want to keep our team. I definitely have not had any other second thoughts about that in my head. So, whether we compete in ARCA or trucks or whatever it is, I think that's going to be our team going forward. And we've still got a few things we're kind of juggling between our options, and there's a few different things we think we can do. And but it's tough. I've we mainly support ourselves. We through the family construction company, and I help in it. I work in my summer breaks in it, and it makes it really tough. But at the same time, it's worth it. And I just hope that we can find some sponsorship to make that side of things a lot easier. And but like I said, if if that doesn't turn up, then I'll do whatever it takes to with what we have and how much work we've got and stuff to prove that we're good enough to go to the next level.
Yeah, and if it is defending a championship next year in the ARCA Menards series or moving up, we're looking forward to continuing watching your career, Bret. But again, congratulations. It was an exciting season to watch. It was fun from our end on as well, Kyle. We got to watch the points championship each week, and it seemed like every week we were going back and forth on who was leading what, down by 2 points, and that's something we like to cover.
Yeah, it really was coming down to the wire, and we knew it was between us and Michael. They were really strong at the beginning of the year, and we slowly got better, and we were only finishing in front of them by 1 or 2 spots each race. So it made it really close. It made it really nerve wracking, but in the end, we came out on top, fortunately, and just can't thank my team enough for as much work as we put in this season.
One final question. Where's that body panel from behind you, that 23 on the wall?
That is the officially longest slide on somebody's side at Daytona from 2018. Yeah. I think I slid down the back straightaway about like 200 yards or something like that. So it's like a bad omen every day, but.
So let's hang it up.
Yeah, right. Race car logic, we tear these body panels off. We're like, let's just hang it up. It looks great.
Yeah, and consider it as art. Yeah.
Right.
Awesome. Well, again, Bret, thank you so much for coming on. Congratulations, and hopefully we'll talk to you over the next couple months as you get ready to plan for 2021.
Yeah, definitely. I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Perfect. That was Bret Holmes, your 2020 ARCA Menards Series champion. When we return here, we've got your Whelen Engineering Short Track Spotlight of the Week.
Whelen designs and manufactures reliable and powerful warning lights, white illumination lighting, sirens, controllers, and high-powered warning systems for automotive, aviation, and mass notification industries worldwide. Every part of every Whelen product is proudly designed and manufactured in America and is tested on site to meet the toughest industry certifications. On the road, in the air, and around the world, Whelen is trusted to be seen, trusted to be heard, trusted to perform. Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Back to NASCAR Coast to Coast, brought to you by Whelen and by Hercules Tires. Here are Hannah Newhouse and Kyle Rickey.
This week's Whelen Engineering Short Track Spotlight is out on the West Coast, Kern County Raceway Park, one of the many places that the ARCA Menards Series West visits. It's located out in Bakersfield, California, and is a half-mile oval that opened in 2013, built as a replacement for Mesa Marin Raceway. The Collins family joined the DeStefani family in planning the new half-mile D-shaped oval that broke ground in February of 2007, and it held its first NASCAR sanctioned race on October 26, 2013 with the K&N Pro Series West. They host local NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series races that include modifieds, pro late models, spec modifieds, street stocks, mini stocks, legends, bandoleros, and mini dwarfs. They also, during the 2013 season, hosted a drifting exhibition, super trucks, and Thunder Roadsters. And if you've ever been out to Kern County Raceway Park, it's a little bit of a different short track as it has 8 degrees of banking in the straightaways, 14-degree paved corners, 5,000 seats for the fans, and room to expand to up to 17,000 for various events. The property also contains a third-mile clay oval track just north of the paved oval. The first event for this track was September 4th in 2015, where they host dirt modifieds, pro stocks, American stocks, and hobby stocks. And one of those racetracks that is a state-of-the-art facility has hosted big events such as the Winter Showdown that was moved to Irwindale as of recently, which was a late model event. And I've had the opportunity to race there as well, both in the K&N Pro Series and super late models. A beautiful facility if you ever get a chance to go out there. Very high speeds. The backstretch is actually banked or raised quite a bit higher than the front stretch to allow race haulers to be parked at the infield and still be able to see the backstretch. So the 2020 season began at Kern County in June. However, fans have not been allowed in the stands this season. That is Kern County Raceway Park out in California. This week's Whelen Engineering Short Track Spotlight of the Week.
Whelen designs and manufactures reliable and powerful warning lights, white illumination lighting, sirens, controllers, and high-powered warning systems for automotive, aviation, and mass notification industries worldwide. Every part of every Whelen product is proudly designed and manufactured in America and is tested on site to meet the toughest industry certifications. On the road, in the air, and around the world, Whelen is trusted to be seen, trusted to be heard, trusted to perform. Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTire.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the Tire Tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTire.com. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Back to NASCAR Coast to Coast, brought to you by Whelen and by Hercules Tires. Here are Hannah Newhouse and Kyle Rickey.
This past weekend, some short tracks continue to wrap up their season, but some touring series still having events, including the Pass Series up at Oxford Plains. They ran the Pass 150, Curtis Gary winning over Dave Farrington and Nick Sweet. Irwindale Speedway out in California wrapped up their season with championship night. Trevor Huddleston, Nick Joanitis, and Dean Thompson finishing 1, 2, 3 in both late model features. Dean Thompson coming home the championship. They also hosted a super late model race where Jimmy Parker won over Christian McGee and Andy Allen. And then event weekend of the year name, the Boobs Rock 2020 out at Houston Motorsports Park. Pretty much apparently the Houston version of World Series, Kyle, had a ton of events, ton of different classes. Houston Motorsports Park obviously only hosting a handful of events each year. Hopefully they'll have a lot more on their 2021 season.
Got a lot of social media play as well. If you follow some of the NASCAR short tracks on Twitter and Facebook, that event came up quite often. The Hickory Fall Brawl was this past weekend. Josh Berry picked up the win over Ryan Millington. Shane Lee, Justin Johnson, and Austin McDaniel. 18 cars took the green flag. Brendan Queen picked up the Langley Speedway Track Championship. We had him on earlier this summer, so congratulations to Brendan. The Heart to Heart 100 canceled at the New Smyrna Speedway down in Florida because of weather. Imagine that. The track management has stated that tickets are good for future events, including the Governor's Cup, the Red Eye 100, a weekly show, or one night of the World Series of Asphalt Racing coming up in February. And as we tape this show, it's not official yet, but we mentioned Josh Berry a moment ago, winning the Fall Brawl at Hickory. He also won both of the twin features at Southern National in North Carolina on Sunday. He was the Division I championship leader going in. And I assume with those victories, he will be the Championship 1 leader leaving the final weekend of the year for the Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series Championship standings. He had a 32-point lead going in over Peyton Sellers, 42 points over Ryan Millington. So as we tape the show, it's unofficial yet. NASCAR usually makes it official on Tuesday or Wednesday once they get all the results in from the short tracks across the country. But by the time this airs, it'll probably be official that Josh Berry is the Division I national champion for the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Series in 2020.
And they posted after their win with the Fall Brawl, not even until they had gone to Southern National, 30-something wins for Josh Berry over the season. And obviously he's one that we've talked to over the last couple of years. Even prior to me joining the show, you guys had him on frequently. Been a staple here in the Carolinas as far as racing late model stocks. Has chased the championship a couple times. So interesting year to be able to have to put together a championship run. Fortunately, the Carolinas have been able to run quite a bit. So congratulations unofficially to Josh Berry on that national championship. We will obviously hear word from NASCAR about that later on in the week. This weekend, though, one of the final touring divisions here that we cover, getting ready to crown their champion in the next coming weeks. They've got doubleheader, though. This weekend out in California, the ARCA Menards Series West will go to All-American Speedway in Roseville on the 23rd, which is Friday.
It is Friday.
For the Napa Auto Parts 125, they'll pack up. They'll drive to Central California to Kern County Raceway Park for the Napa Enos 125 on Sunday. So busy weekend for those teams, Kyle, before we crown a champion just a few weeks later at Phoenix.
Yeah, they'll be a part of the big championship weekend at the Phoenix Raceway in a couple of weeks. Jesse Love has a 16-point lead over Blaine Perkins. And the series' most recent winner, Gracie Trotter, who won at the Bull Ring to Las Vegas Motor Speedway last month, third in points, 31 back. Then it's Gio Selzy and Trevor Huddleston rounding out the top 5 after the first 8 events. 3 to go here over the next 3 weeks. They will wrap up, I guess, the regional racing in this country, and then the NASCAR Wheel and Euro Series. They still have, I believe, 3 more weekends that'll take them, I think, the week before Christmas into the month of December. Their next event, not until November 14th and 15th at the Autodrome Most, the Grand Prix of the Czech Republic, in a couple of weeks' time. Alan Day, the championship leader, there by 10 over Lasse Sorensen.
Again, you can watch all of the action for the ARCA Menards Series West on NBC Track Pass. Kyle and I, we will have you coverage from the Texas Motor Speedway for a Sunday mid-morning truck series event.
And it needs to be
on air at 11 a.m. Are you going to be functioning?
No, 10:30, right? Pre-race.
10:30 local, 11:30 Eastern.
Yeah, and it's going to be a quick race because I got a 3 o'clock flight, so they got to get rolling.
We were looking at that today at the travel grid, and Dylan goes, I might have to call both turns because Kyle has a 3 p.m. flight. And I was like, dude, it's 10:30 local, 3 p.m., like local flight for Kyle. We should be okay. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be sunny and 70 degrees. I'm looking forward, Kyle, to getting back to a racetrack with you. It'll be the last of 2020.
Let's not break the safer barrier or do something dumb to head into pit road where they knock sand onto the track or something. But yeah, it's gonna be a fun weekend. It's gonna be a good crew. Early morning race, not early morning, but mid-morning race, and it's gonna be fun. Our final broadcast of the year together.
Yep, looking forward to it. We'll have a couple more shows for you guys. Of course, wrapping up the 2020 season for your NASCAR regional, local, and international touring divisions. So until then, again, you can watch that action this weekend on NBC Track Pass for the ARCA Menards Series West. Tune us in on the Motor Racing Network Sunday mid-morning for the NASCAR Gander Outdoor and RV Truck Series. But until then, we will see you guys next week here on NASCAR Coast to Coast.
You've been listening to NASCAR Coast to Coast, presented by Whelen, also brought to you by Hercules Tires. NASCAR Coast to Coast is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.